Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of My Team Journey. The last time out we finished a rather incredible 8th in the first race of the season. It was a bit of a chaotic one, a bit of a bumpy ride as well, but we did well to recover that, just fending off a Mercedes, thank goodness. But as we finished that off, we had to choose a rivalry. Personally, these two choices were a bit unrealistic, but this is what we were given. So we end up choosing Lewis Hamilton because why the hell not? I'm up for a challenge. See how we go from there. And we had to renew our some sponsorships, which I personally kept because why change when it does the deal? So we keep our sponsors for the remains until the next time we have to do a renewal. See how things all go. If the sponsor for the outperforming your rival doesn't do much, then we might consider changing probably through the season, but we'll see how it all goes. And we had a bit of money to spare, so I wanted to upgrade some of my perks in hopes to get better performance out of the car and for myself and for the team's boosted resources. Our teammate Jenson Button, he didn't do too bad, qualified 13th but finished 13th thanks to some retirements, but that was all he can really do. So hopefully in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix coming up now, he'll be able to do better. Now with this racetrack in Saudi, I quite like it. It's very fast and dangerous, which is just what you need for one these days. So much like safety and everything. Don't get me wrong, having safety is key, but you want a nice element of danger to really be on a knife edge or so. But anyway, cracking on here, we were doing some practice runs, and I was really trying to find a good rhythm around this racetrack. I did do some practice off camera because I really wanted to master my craft on this incredibly fast racetrack. And I felt like I got a good rhythm. It's the first part of the circuit that really gets me. How it's so fast, the flying S's and everything. Here's our teammate Jenson Button. Just wanted to see how he was doing in this practice session. I thought he was on a flying lap, but it seems like he's having a cool down lap. But we're heading straight back into the pits, which is typical from the AI. Which is, well, what can I say really? So we got out again because we wanted to do a qualifying simulation run to get an idea of where we're at. Because I just wanted to make sure I can maximize the not only the resources but the grind of trying to get enough points to upgrade our car and everything. This part of this race I've been trying so hard to get right and everything. But it's this particular part that really gets under my skin. The earlier you turn in, you just lose the lap. It's really incredibly frustrating. That's been the part of the racetrack, which has been something that I've been very much working hard to get right. And we did do a pretty good lap there, of 130.6, which is decent enough. And all of that, we managed to get a decent amount of resource points to hopefully improve our car into making it faster and more durable. And I'm just hoping that my teammate can literally get up there, because Oscar, my previous one, he was quite close to getting to the points, albeit just outside, which is a bit unfortunate for him. But he's in a much better car in the AlphaTauri, so he'll be alright. So we had some upgrades to deal with. We're just under 2.3, so we wanted to... I had so many choices to go for, which was really... It wasn't like a nightmare, but it was more a case of what would be good? What can I literally go for? What can I go for? There was too many options to go by. So we ended but at the end of it, I wanted to go for. I think we went for the weight upgrade and the power upgrade, because currently our aerodynamics is full at the moment and they're being developed as we speak. So the choices were, we had a chassis upgrade, which is a major one, which will improve tyre wear, which will be very key in the coming season. And we ended up going for a power upgrade for fuel efficiency. So hopefully that will be much better on the fuel saving. I stand corrected. We don't go for the fuel efficiency. We go for the minor engine power upgrade because, well, it's been it's been a while since I was on here. I know I haven't like been on it much and everything, but I'm working on it. So we do a durability upgrade. And without further ado, let's get straight into qualifying. So now we're into qualifying, one of the fastest racetracks of the entire calendar. You could argue with Monza, but the stats don't lie on this like circuit here. And what I find really annoying is that they give us like two soft tires, one hard and one medium, whereas in real life you get soft tires. It would be nice if they patched it to like make it correspond to real life, because it's all separated and it's just the other way around. It makes no sense. But hey, I'm no developer. But as you can see, we're on our first flying lap here, and just like in practice, that corner there really just got me bugged and everything. So we do another lap. I was cooling down, and we come across the line. It's a 1:31.3, which just gets us through to Q1, only by 7 cents off the lead, and Jenson Button doesn't make it through. It's a bit alarming. I know second race, but I was kind of hoping him to be up there. Because look at our former teammate. He's in the top 10. He's in the top 16. Like, how does that work? And I was curious to know whether Jenson Button improved much from his time. And looking at his time charts, he did improve by just over 5/10s, but still wasn't enough. I'm kind of expecting more. But like I said, it's early days, so we go out and we go on to our first run on a used set of tyres, I believe, and we come across the line 130.4, only 10th shy from the first one. But I kind of wanted to go out again because at the moment we're sitting 10th, and as we fast forward time, we do drop out of the top 10, which not by much, only a 10th and a half off. But we go out again, and we were like 1.4 seconds up from our previous best time, and we come up to the line. It's a 1:29.9. We break into the 29s finally. About time we did it in this first time we did it in this whole weekend. We just get through to Q3. Very vital. I was pretty happy with that to get through, but it did cost us a fresh set of soft tires. Now, I personally wanted to go on the mediums because at least I can set myself a banker time for when I do the first run, and if I need to improve, I got on a one last set of soft tires to use. Talk about crunch time and everything. Oh, very strategic. Strategic. I can't pronounce words. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, we stick on to those sorts of mediums, and we do go out for our first run. Right here, we do get a nice tow from Charles Leclerc, who was coming into the pits, by the way. We get a nice tow from that, and it's a 1:30.4. We were like 600s off from pole position. I won't lie, I kind of fancy my chances. So, after really debating about it, we didn't put ourselves on a brand spanking new set of soft tires, I believe. Well, I can remember all these times of editing this video. So about the delay and everything. We do go on a fresh set of soft tyres, and I really wanted to make the most on the outlet to get the tyres all nice and warm and everything, and to get ourselves a nice, get ourselves a great chance to like hopefully try and get pole position. I really fancy my chances. I really felt like the car can really get up to there. I was hoping maybe get onto like second row and everything, but as the lap went on, we started getting faster and faster, and we had a beautiful run through that section that I struggled quite a bit. We're like up by almost a second from our previous time. Purple in the first sector, and we come across this main straight. We're just under a second quicker. I mean, it's nice fast straight. We're a personal best in the sector. We're now a second, nearly 1.1 seconds faster from our previous best. Coming on the final corner, just under 1.2 seconds quicker. Is this good enough for pole position, I wonder? So we come across the line. I didn't quite see what happened here, but we get pole position. Pole position. On our second outing. I'll say that. I was not expecting that. It's such a good run in that S section of the first sector. That really made a huge difference. I was well happy with that. Well happy to take our first pole position in our my team career with Phoenix Motorsport. Oh, what a time to be playing this game with this. So this is going to be an interesting circumstance, considering where we qualified. I was well happy. I was well happy with that. But anything can happen in a race, so we need to keep a level head on it. So without further ado, let's get straight into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Step down a long road of development, and even if they don't maximise their points today, there are plenty more up for grabs this season.
So yeah, we are starting pole position of this Grand Prix. I won't lie, I was a bit nervous going into it, having not started on the front row of our career so far. Now last season we started on hards, I believe, and we just managed to finish that Grand Prix last season, but we ran out of fuel on the final straight. Let's try and not repeat that, and let's try and see make the most of what we can get out of this Grand Prix, starting our career best pole position. Oh, nerving this is. Got the two fastest Red Bulls behind us, with the fast stunning Ferraris and the Mercedes as well. With our teammate down in 18th. I really wish it could be higher, but nevertheless, we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is now underway. We get a good start, and we make the most of it. We go on the inside to cover off. So the Red Bulls getting a lovely start. I mean, it's contact between all of us with the Red Bulls, and the Red Bulls make contact with each other. They're squabbling, and and we managed to pull away from the Red Bulls. This Sergio Perez is ahead of Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. And Charles Leclerc is just about to overtake Carlos Sainz. We didn't quite see it as we now started to pull away from the Red Bulls. But they literally just caught up to us very quickly. That didn't last long. But as you can see, we're now leading this Grand Prix with Sergio Perez jumping back to Verstappen at the start. That wasn't part of the script for Verstappen, I believe. Carlos Sainz is behind Charles Leclerc in 5th place. And you have the Mercedes of George Russell up there in 6th place, I believe. And you see the Alpine of, I think, Pierre Gasly up there fighting amongst the Mercedes. That's not something you see every day. And you can see Sergio Perez is closing in on us coming towards the final straight of the first lap. The Red Bulls are so fast in the straights. I had to really keep my eyes on them. So you see Sergio Perez starting to close in on us. But we just about have enough momentum on that straight. Thank goodness. Thanks to the setup that we trialed of script of the screen to like see if we could make fast on the straight, which is working very wonders. Coming at the end of the first lap, we lead from Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, and the Alpine, I think Pierre Gasly, I believe. Then you're Lewis Hamilton and Mick Schumacher, who's up there. That's something you see. Here's the replay of the start. We get a nice launch from the start and everything. We move over to cover the outside, and I think the Red Bull of Sergio Perez was just so fast, so we made a lot of contact. We started touching each other with the Red Bulls, so we get a warning for the collision with Verstappen. Here's the onboard with Verstappen, and then he gets an okay start, but Sergio Perez launched like a rocket. He gets squished. There was nothing you can do about that. There was nothing you can do. There's sure to be some stern words between the two teammates afterwards. He's on board with Sergio Perez. He gets a lovely launch with a nice clean air, and it almost took the lead. But with a collision with his teammate, has gone very well. Here's a better view from Charles Leclerc's point of view. You see, he just almost gets alongside Verstappen, but he ran out of the road. And he's side by side with his teammate, and Carlos Sainz on the outside. Doesn't quite make the move stick up here, but then he gets a nice run coming up to turn 3, and Charles Leclerc goes in a little bit too deep. Yeah, well, that just happened, and Charles was able to just stay ahead. So we set the fastest lap on lap 4 of this Grand Prix, leading 4 laps into this Grand Prix, and we are like literally very comfortable. We are literally pulling away from the Red Bulls, which is pretty nice to see. And as you see, Charles Leclerc closing in on Max Verstappen, the defending world champion. He's got nothing to lose after finishing 2nd last time out, just behind the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, the championship leader, as Max Verstappen going up alongside, coming up towards the final turn. Sergio Perez has the inside, and he'll get DRS, no doubt about that. The instinct team squabbling is allowing me to pull away from this slot here. The championship leader, Sergio Perez, has got nothing to lose. He really wants to do well in this season, but the Red Bull teammates are squabbling each other. That's not going to help each other. As Carlos Sainz, under pressure from George Russell, coming in turn 2, this gets a nice exit. A terrible TV direction there from me. And it's side by side between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Who's going to come out on top here, side by side between each other? Oh, they literally hold it to each other, and George Russell gets ahead of the Spaniard. Whew. That was pretty cool to watch. I wish it was like that in real life, but hey ho, that was great stuff. As for us, we're sort of just taking it easy and making sure that we keep ourselves in our grooves to be out there. And the Red Bulls are once again squabbling with each other. The Sergio Perez still gets the better momentum, ahead of Verstappen. Charles Leclerc is literally behind him, waiting to pounce on the Bulls here. But Sergio Perez, he does not get DRS at all, as Max Verstappen goes on the outside of turn 1, but Perez will hug it on the inside, and it doesn't quite work out, but Perez will get a better exit. Coming out of the 2nd turn, leading up to turn 3. Charles Leclerc literally is almost 3 abreast. Oh, this is breathtaking to watch. And so, oh my goodness me, so much is going on. Oh, and Max Verstappen does get ahead of his teammate eventually. Oh, that was pretty sensational to witness. It's not often you see something like that. That's pretty cool. As for us, we're just taking it easy, especially in that section of the corner of the track, which I can't stand. And you see Pierre Gasly fighting with Mick Schumacher, I believe. Oh no, Mick Schumacher is behind. Kevin Magnussen is actually the culprit. And Pierre Gasly does get ahead of him. But a lap later, they're literally squabbling once again. But this time, it's Kevin Magnussen who has the momentum. And coming up to turn 3, Pierre Gasly literally just outbrakes him. But he doesn't quite have the momentum. And Kevin Magnussen gets back ahead of the Alpine. Nicely done there from the Dane. The Viking Dane. What a nickname for him. Oh. This feels good to be. It feels good to be leading in the front. As you see, Red Bull of Max Verstappen being the first one of the front birds to take his first pit stop of the race so far. And he goes on a set of hard tyres. That will surely take him to the end of the Grand Prix, halfway into this race. Where is he going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of the traffic or not? There's a lot of cars coming down onto the final straight. The Alpine is alongside there. And he just comes down. Oh no, he's going to come up behind the traffic. I mean, right in between an AlphaTauri sandwich. That is not worked out well for Max Verstappen. As you see Yuki Tsunoda getting interested. But he doesn't quite fall through. One lap later, the Red Bull of Perez and Charles Leclerc make their first stops of the afternoon. But who's going to come out on top here? Perez does get back ahead. Just jumps the Ferrari, regaining the eventual second place. As you see Max Verstappen about to overtake the AlphaTauri as he now comes up towards the first corner. Oh, it's going to be so close and neck. Who's going to come out on top? Oh, side by side between each other. Oh, Jesus Christ, the AlphaTauri is getting in his way. But he gets ahead of Charles Leclerc. Oh, and Charles Leclerc gets ahead of Max Verstappen. That's him being stuck in traffic has cost him dearly. I mean. And as you see the Alpine of Pierre Gasly retiring from the Grand Prix. That is such a shame. He was running very well in this Grand Prix. And as that was happening, we were about to make our first pit stop of the afternoon. I just want to make sure that we get a good pit stop from this. My crew here. You hear the narrator in the background. Talking about whatever it is going on in. Talking about how the cars go. I don't think I hear that these days. The pit stop here was pretty good. We got out in clear air and still ahead of the Red Bulls. Literally. Oh, I need a break. Sorry. I see Max Verstappen literally being challenged by Charles Leclerc. These two have been squabbling with each other all race. Literally squabbling with each other. Charles Leclerc on the outside into turn 1. Does he make the move stick? No. They're side by side coming to this corner, and you literally see the Red Bull. No, doesn't quite because we see, but he's using his battery. Because on the inside of turn 3, no, the Ferrari comes out on top. And here we go again. Max Verstappen on the inside of the Ferrari. These two are literally been squabbling and providing great entertainment for the crowd, myself included. Oh, what an entertaining battle this has been. The former world champion up against the defending world champion. These two are going to be squabbling with each other throughout the entire season, I can guarantee that. As you can see, the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda locks up, and Oscar Piastri gets in front of him thanks to that mistake from the Japanese driver. He's done pretty well so far. Such a shame for the for Yuki. And you should see the Mercedes squabbling with each other over 5th and 6th, I believe. But who's going to come out on top between the two Mercedes? They are side by side into turns 1 and 2. Who's going to come out better? Who's going to be the best Mercedes driver of them all? George Russell just get ahead of the 7th-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Such a shame. As you can now see, 2 laps to go of this Grand Prix. Literally, the final spot for the podium between Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc is literally nothing to separate between the two. As for us, there wasn't really much to show from us because we were literally cruising in this Grand Prix. Nothing much happened. We do get the fastest lap on the final lap of this Grand Prix. We are literally heading home to our first win of our career, as we now see the titanic duels of Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen for probably the last time battling at each other for the final spot on the podium. These two have literally been at each other's throats throughout this Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen side by side here, and Charles Leclerc gets ahead. He gets ahead. He gets ahead of the Dutch. He gets ahead of the Dutch driver. Excellent. As for us, we're now coming on to the final DRS straight of what has been a pretty dominant and convincing drive for us. Man, what happened to this car? Well, the previous race we qualified 16th, and now we finish 8th. Here, we're coming on to the final quarter, starting pole. After the disappointment of the previous season in the last year's Grand Prix, we come across the start finish line to win the Saudi Remy Grand Prix and our first ever Phoenix Grand Prix win. Oh, what an amazing drive.
Yes, you've done it! You've done it! Well done! Great stuff, mate! Great stuff!
Well, that might not have been the finest race in history, but there's no question that was a critical win. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
What a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
So that was the Grand Prix. That is literally insane. Oh, our first ever win for the Phoenix Motorsport team, and our first ever victory in Formula 1. That is insane. Standing on the top step of the podium. Oh, what a time to play this to do it. The car just works so well. It must have been the setup and the upgrades that we managed to bring to the Grand Prix, which is pretty insane. But as we were celebrating, this was literally on the final corner. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen being at each other, but it's Charles that comes out on top. As you saw on the podium, it was literally neck and neck between the two. This is going to be one very feisty season. I know I've been saying it quite a bit, but I literally can't wait to see what happens between the two. As you can see, we would literally done the triple, pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. Now just seeing where our teammate finished. He hasn't really done much, but hopefully better things to come in the next Grand Prix, which will be Australia. And here's the standings. We literally climb up to 3rd in the driver's standings, which is insane. Insane, I tell you. And we're 3rd in the standings for the constructors too, thanks to us for collecting the points. But no, all seriousness aside, I do hope Jensen does pull his weight and start delivering. We signed him for a reason. He's a world champion, for crying out loud. But on the other hand, we need to give him a good car, which is slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. But for now, we will take this race win. Honestly, I can't tell you how happy I was crossing that finish line. It's just insane. And just before we finished, we ended up doing an upgrade for the rear downforce because we needed to do so. And here's the trophy for our first ever trophy in the trophy cabinet for many to come in the future. But yeah, that was the Grand Prix. Sorry for not really showing much for my side of the Grand Prix because I was pretty much leading and there wasn't really much to show. And yeah, so literally that was the Grand Prix for us. I can't tell you how happy I was to win that Grand Prix. I think maybe you could just probably ask for a little bit more challenge, but careful what you wish for. But yeah, that's been the Grand Prix, and I can't, like I said, I can't tell you how happy I was winning that Grand Prix. But yeah, thanks so much for watching the videos I make, and please leave a like. Also subscribe to my channel if you wish to for some more content. And the next one we're going to be going to is the Australian Grand Prix. And I will see you all there. Take good care.